What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys, in my opinion, the best settings for MLB The Show. If you kind of want to play like an ESL type of esports type of player, these are the settings that are most commonly used by players that are, in the top 50, in the top 100. In my opinion, the best settings to play the game. Now, you can set it up however you would like to. There's no wrong way to set it up. But I want to give you guys my personal favorite settings. So we're going to hop into the gameplay settings first. And as far as we'll start with batting and base running. As far as the hitting difficulty goes, you can put that on whatever you want. That's just for when you play against the computer, when you're practicing, or if you're in franchise or road to the show. I just keep it on rookie, but you can put it on literally whatever you want. It's not something that's going to affect like Diamond Dynasty, which is really the main mode that I personally play. The hitting view, I never really switch around. I use strike zone. I use strike zone because it is the easiest to see when you are hitting. It's the best one in my opinion for that. I use the in-play view of medium. I like medium because it kind of makes the players look a little bit bigger. So I like that about it. So you can kind of like see the details of the players. It might help you rob a play at the wall with an outfielder. The hitting interface that I use is zone. I think zone is by far the best. I also use buttons. It just allows you to move the PCI to the ball, and it's by far the best in my opinion. There's directional and pure analog, but I recommend zone. It's definitely the best in my opinion. The plate coverage indicator, definitely you can turn that on. I like to use diamonds right now with wedge. I like the outer to be basic, and the spring green, you can use whatever color that you'd like. The PCI transparency, I have set at 50%, and I have the fade out on the outer. As far as the advanced controls, I have guess pitch off. Base running decision, I keep assist. Base running interface, I keep default. There's classic and default. I think default's just what I like to use personally. Sliding decisions, assist, and runner windows on. And for pitching, again, you can put whatever difficulty you would like. The best pitching interface, though, in my opinion, is pure analog. I think it's the most accurate one to use, and it also is the most fun to use, in my opinion. It's like the most... I just like it better than clicking on the meter or any of the other things. I really like pure analog a lot. And I will have pitching tip videos and hitting tip videos on my channel. If you need to get better using any of this stuff, by the way, make sure that you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell for that. Pitch feedback on. Pitching view. Now, the pitching view, I actually switch around quite a bit. You can go with the classic strike zone, which we see right here. The other two pitching views that I really like are, and I do switch these from time to time. I will switch these cameras from time to time, just because, let's see, I'll also use pitcher offset, which I like a lot. It has like a bigger pitching analog meter. It has kind of a bit, you guys can see how like the actual meter itself, is pretty big, and I like that compared to if we go and change the cameras again. If I can do that, I might have to step off the rubber. Okay. Let's disable the pitching tutorials. Let's see the options. Let me throw a pitch real quick. We'll just throw a pitch. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens. But that's the analog meter. You pull down on your right stick, push up on your right stick. The other cameras that I like to use, so we got strike zone that I like to use for pitching, just because it gives you a really good view of everything. All the icons are really big. That's really nice. I like to use pitcher offset, and I also like to use outfield. Now, outfield's a little bit different. You can really see the runner leading off of second base, but the one thing, and you're also, the pitcher's always out of the way, so you can, the pitcher's not covering the strike zone. Sometimes they do that in pitcher offset. But you guys can see the analog meter is like a little bit smaller. It feels a little bit like the icons are a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit more difficult to be precise, in my opinion. So those are the three that I'll use. Maybe if I'm certain pitchers, I kind of like to use different views. Certain, if I'm not pitching well, I might switch it up. I do switch up my pitching camera quite a bit. The pitching ball marker, you can either go with the classic on, or you can go with, I would go with pitch trail on. I'll explain how those work. I wouldn't go with the fades. I would go with either classic on or pitch trail on. Classic on, let's say if we throw like a slider here, you guys can see those arrows. It is going, if you hit your analog perfectly, like hit the line and hit the hoop perfectly, it's going to go where that arrow is on the bottom right. So if I throw a slider, it's not gonna like go right here. It's gonna go like way low and inside if I hit it perfectly. I didn't get it all the way over to the hoop, but that's the general idea. It's like it's gonna show you where it's going to, and you're gonna basically, if you hit it perfectly, it's going to go to the bottom part of that arrow. Conversely, if you use the pitch trail on, it's going to go exactly, it's sort of like a slider instead of a fastball. It's going to go exactly, like if you hit your meter perfectly, it's going to go exactly where the baseball is. So there's no arrow. If that makes any sense at all, it's going to go where, like, the baseball is the point of where you're aiming instead of the arrows. So you can use either one of those. Both of those are very good, and sometimes I'll switch those up from time to time. A lot more people are using pitch trail on used to be what a lot of people use. A lot more people are going back to classic on now. Just figure out which one you like the most. Sometimes I like classic on a lot more from the strike zone view. I don't know. They're both pretty good though. You can't really go wrong there. Pitch confidence definitely on. Pitch delay, I like faster. Just helps you grind better. It makes the computer pitch a little bit faster, so I personally like that. API, I have this set to on. Sometimes on the lower difficulties, your catcher, under All-Star, the catcher will give you a signal of which pitch to throw, and there's no real reason to turn that off. And that's pretty much where I'm at for pitching. Fielding, I use button accuracy. You want the throwing meter on. The throwing is more difficult this year. Accuracy really matters. And the meter itself moves quite a bit faster, so your timing has to be better. But this is part of like the skill gap that you want to use. You want to be able to hit green throws, so I definitely keep that on. Fielding decision, I go with assist. Throwing decision, I go off. In-play defense, I like medium again, the same as my offense. Throw canceling, 100% you want this on. I'm not sure why that's not even on right now, but you want throw canceling on so you can double tap the button and cancel your throw. Maybe there's a bunt and you're thinking about going to second, but you're realizing that the guy on first base is going to get to second and you're not going to have time for the double play, so you want to throw it to first. Or you get into a rundown, you want to fake like you're going to throw and throw cancel and tag them out. So you want throw canceling definitely on. One button dive jump I keep off. This would be like R1 and R2. For diving and jumping, jumping is R1, I believe, and diving is R2. You want to keep one button dive jump off. I like to keep the auto infield, and I like to keep these jump reactions and dive reactions on. It's nice if they have like a line drive to keep that on. Catch position indicator, keep this on. Defensive shift, you can do whatever you'd like here. I keep it on auto personally, but you can do whatever you'd like here. On the wall, off ribbon, just keep that on. There's no reason to turn that off. In general, I keep the strike zone on. I keep hot zones on. Warm-up relievers definitely turn off, so you don't have to mess with it when you're playing like Conquest or whatever in Diamond Dynasty. I personally do not like to have warm-up relievers on. Dynamic difficulty upgrades, you can updates, you can go progress, tutorial tips, you can keep those on. I'm actually going to turn those off, to be honest with you, so I don't, just because I played the game for a long time. Scoreboard display on. Pitch display, select display, keep on. Switch pitch info, definitely keep on. Box, keep off. Box like are great IRL, but in the game it's much more fluid to keep box off. They kind of are a nuisance. If you really want to turn them on to get like that ultimate realistic franchise experience, go for it. But I just think keeping them off is a better way to go. And when you play online, they're off as well. Umpire accuracy, perfect. I like perfect more than personalized. Umpire close plays, you can turn those on or off. I have them off. I'd rather just have it so they make consistent. You know, I like, you guys can see I want the umpires to be like absolutely perfect. Check swing appeals I have on. Injuries manual. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having injuries off. Just, you know, if you're doing a franchise or something, you know, maybe you have them on, maybe you have them off. They're not. I don't think you can get injured in Diamond Dynasty unless your pitcher gets hit with the ball. So vibration I have off. I have that off on my controller. It's kind of helps you like set the pitches better. So I have that off personally. Game log order I just have default, I believe. And for advanced, yeah, that's pretty much all of your settings. So that's how I set it up. I think that's the best way to set it up. I've been playing for a really long time, and these are basically what most of the best players in the world use. So if this helped you out, you know, if you're looking for a good place to start, I would definitely do that. I definitely think strike zone is by far the best hitting view. You can switch up your pitching view. And that's pretty much it with all the settings. So I just want to get this video out for folks that are just getting the game or are looking to know what my settings are if they're watching one of my streams. This video will help them out, or at least it just is going to chronicle all of the settings that I personally use. And thank you guys so much for watching. We will have a lot more MLB The Show tutorial videos coming soon, but this is just like, I got to knock out all of the basic stuff as well to put on my channel at first. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.